student, and you're welcome to solve your past question for today's class. In today's class, we'll be looking at 2 by 3 matrices, and we'll be looking at the addition, the subtraction, and the multiplication of 2 by 3 matrices. And we'll be solving our past question from the year 2000 to 2010. The first question we have here for today's class says, given the matrices C into bracket, calling my values in columns 2, 3, 5, 4, and 1, 7, close bracket, and matrix D, which is 2 by 3, calling my values in columns, that will be 1, 4, 5, and 3, 2, 6. So the question says, find the product of matrix C and D. So to find the product of matrix C and D, we have to bring the two matrices together. And pay attention, you will see that the matrix C is 2 by 3. And these matrices are 2 by 3 matrices. So when you pay attention, they are not having the same amount of columns nor rows. So that means, how do we do this? So we take the first row of matrix C and multiply with the first column of matrix D. So we take each values and we multiply them together. And we do the same thing for the second row of matrix C and multiply with the second column of matrix D till we get our final answer. So for the first row of matrix C, you'll be having 2 into bracket 1, that is 2 times 1. That means the first element of the first row multiplied by the first element of the first column of matrix D. Then you add these elements together in respect to their space or where you can find them. So that means you'll be having for the first row again 2 times 1 plus 5 times 4 plus 1 times 5. So it will be giving you 2 plus 20 plus 5, which is equals to 27. And therefore, the same first row, we use the same first row to multiply the second column. So that will be 2 times 3 plus 5 times 2 plus 1 times 6. And that will be having 6 plus 10 plus 6, then equals to 22. Then the next thing we have to do is to pay attention to the second row of matrix C. So the second row of matrix C will multiply both the first column and second column of matrix D, just as what we did in the first row. So for the second row, we'll be having 3 times 1 plus 4 times 4 plus 7 times 5. So we'll be having 3 plus 16 plus 35, which is all equals to 54. On the same second row, which we multiply the second column, that will be 3 times 3 plus 4 times 2 plus 7 times 6. And that will be 9 plus 8 plus 42, which is equals to 59. So therefore, the matrix C multiplied by D will be into bracket, calling my values in column 27, 54, and 22, 59, which is our final answer. The second question we'll be solving in today's class, it says, given the matrices E into brackets, calling my values in columns, that will be 3, 1, 2, 5, and 4, 6, and matrix F, calling my values in columns 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2, and close bracket. So the question says, calculate matrix E times F. So meaning we are going to be multiplying the both matrices together, so which are 2 by 3 matrices. So just as the way we treated the first question by taking the first row of matrix E and multiplying it with the first and second column of matrix F, and we take the second row of matrix E and multiplying with the first and second column of matrix F. So let's go ahead and just solve that right now. So for the first row and for the first column, so that will be 3 times 2 plus 2 times 3 plus 4 times 5 equals to 6 plus 6 plus 20, which is total answer is 32. And we have our first row multiplying the second column, so we have 3 times 1 plus 2 times 4 plus 4 times 2 equals to 3 plus 8 plus 8, which is equals to 19. Then let's move to the second row of matrix E. So multiplying it with the first and second column of matrix F. So that will be 1 times 2 plus 5 times 3 plus 6 times 5 equals to 2 plus 15 plus 30, which is equals to 47. And we have the same second row multiplying each column of matrix F. So that will be 1 times 1 plus 5 times 4 plus 6 times 2, which is equals to 1 plus 20 plus 12 equals to 33. Now, therefore, by putting all these values together, the product of matrix E and F will give us, calling my figures in columns, that will be 32, 47, and 19, 33. So that makes it 2 by 2 matrix as our final answer. Then the last question we'll be solving in today's class is say solve the matrices which given G into bracket, calling my figures in columns, that will be 4, 2, 1 5 3 7, and matrix H into bracket 6 1 4 2 8 3, and close bracket, calling my figures in columns. So the question says multiply matrix G and H together. So how do we multiply these 2 by 3 matrices together? So we put the two matrices beside one another and we multiply them. Just as the way we've solved the first and second questions by taking the first row of matrix G and multiplying it with the first and second columns of matrix H. I'm taking the second row of matrix G and multiplying it with the first and second columns of matrix H. Let's proceed. So for the first row, we have 4 times 6 plus 1 times 1 plus 3 times 4, which is equals to 24 plus 1 plus 12, which our final answer is 37. And we have the first row, which will be multiplying the second column. So we have 4 times 2 plus 1 times 8 plus 3 times 3 equals to 8 plus 8 plus 9, which is all equals to 25. Now for the second row of matrix G, which will be multiplying the first and second column of matrix H. So we have 2 times 6 plus 5 times 1 plus 7 times 4, which is equals to 12 plus 5 plus 28, which is all equals to 45. And we have the second row multiplying the second column. So we have 2 times 2 plus 5 times 8 plus 7 times 3, which is equals to 4 plus 40 plus 21 equals to 65. So therefore, by putting all these answers together, so we'll be having the product of matrix G and H to be equals to, calling my values in columns now, so we have 37, 45, 25, 65 as our final answer. And this is where we are going to stop for today's class. We hope with what we have learned in today's class, we've been able to better your understanding on the concept of the multiplication of 2 by 3 matrices. So join us in our next class where we proceed from where we stop and to better your understanding on this aspect of 2 by 3 matrices. Bye for now.